And just like that, a new year has started. A new week has started. A new month has just begun. The new year always brings a sense of excitement. All of a sudden, we have 365 days to achieve everything we've always wanted. No goal is too small. But who knows what awaits us? Who knows what can happen this year? What has 2024 stored for us? By now, we all know how New Year's resolutions tend to go. We stick to them the first month, and then all the motivation just seems to disappear somehow. Somehow, the spark we felt at the start of the year is no longer there, and that makes us then feel lost. The thing is, this year, this happened to me a lot quicker. I truly don't know why. I mean, just like you, I had some New Year's resolutions in mind already. The goals I want to achieve this year are running through my mind. I started the day so eager to fulfill them this year, ready to really find myself. What you doing, mommy?
Taking out the toys.
Daddy, say hi. What you doing, Stella? Yes. But not even a few hours later, I suddenly became overwhelmed. Started fearing that time was already running out for me. Today I should have done X and Y. Instead, I decided to relax. And that for me meant somehow that I was already failing. I had started the year just like 2023 had ended. Didn't feel any different, felt exactly the same. But I asked myself, why is there always this expectation that we have to somehow feel different when a new year begins? Come on. If you truly think about it, a new year is just another change in the clock. The earth is still spinning the same way, at the same pace. All remains the same except the fact that we are gonna dress this year with a new number. I started the year feeling so excited about all the opportunities this could bring me. Not even the second day, and I was already feeling lost. Lost in my own thoughts. I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I felt like my goals, my ideas of what I wanted to do this year were just not good enough. Not worthy. And not achievable. But that's what New Year's resolutions tend to do. For some, it happens much later. This realization that we might have put too much on our plate. That perhaps we might have been choosing to focus on the wrong things.
Oh, bebé, que bello.
That instead of choosing 2 or 3 things that we truly want to work on this year, we somehow feel pressured to choose 10 at the minimum to say that we have been productive, to say that we can obviously do everything. But the reality is, guys, no one knows what's gonna happen this year. Just like every other year, it is filled with surprises that we never truly know. We cannot control that. Unexpected things can happen from the very start of the year. Normally, when those things happen to us, that's when we suddenly lose that spark because we feel like everything is out of our control. So why bother? Why keep going? Why even try to start my own band or start that book I've wanted to write for years now? So I think this is the reason I was feeling lost, because I realized that what's gonna happen is very much out of my control. The things that I want to achieve are not impossible. And the thing is, that was not the problem that was making me anxious. What was making me anxious is that, well, not impossible. I could not determine if they were gonna happen. We can put all our effort into achieving them. But in reality, if they do happen, it's not completely up to us. However, this should not discourage you from trying to achieve them. It's quite the opposite, actually. The point here is that things that we cannot control are often those that scare us the most. But doing them, despite them making us feel very uncomfortable, is what makes us grow. The ones that will help you come closer to who you want to be. The new trend this year is to talk about ins and outs instead of New Year's resolutions. What do we want to keep from 2023 and work on 2024 to continue having? And what do we want to take out? What things have not served us? What things are fostering negativity in our life? I kind of do like this trend. It is essentially making one look inwards instead of outwards. To shift to a mindset of adding and improving instead of obligation and have tos. It's a more sensible way of approaching the year. A calmer way to try to foster our abilities over trying to nitpick them and shape them to something others deem reasonable. It is asking us to honestly answer the question of what we want in our lives. Not what we expect to have, but what we want to foster. What we want to focus on. I've been delaying this for a while, but I have this brand new notebook. I mean, I have many notebooks because I have a stationary hoarding problem.
Get some help.
But let's not talk about that. Basically, I have this notebook where I literally want to make this my second brain, or maybe my first brain, because my first one doesn't really work.
I'm fine.
It's a new year, Oksana.
Be kinder to yourself.
My plan is to every day write something in it and then just use this to like make notes and remind us. Basically like a bullet journal, but my way of doing it, which is very messy and very random, and just use it for what I actually need. Also, I have to upload my reel for beginner, and then we have to start editing this week's video. But let's get this done because I've been delaying this for 2 days now. It's a great start of the year. And I'm trying to relax because I'm feeling a bit stressed. Yeah, I'm a lot in my head right now. Just like worried about the year and how it's gonna go. I really am trying to be a better version of myself. It's just hard, but I know I have to. Like some things that I need to change. It's not that I want to change them, it's like I need to change them and I need to keep practicing them. It's just frustrating that also because of my ADHD, I'm like overthinking everything, and it's just right now is what I need to do. Be uncomfortable, but just keep going. But it's still hard, you know. One of my goals this year is to learn to be better at self-care and kinder to myself. That was a good small therapy session, right? But of course, this is harder than it seems. Feeling stuck often leads us to believe that we are unworthy, that we are useless, and that we are failures. We tend to be our worst critics. In 2023, I try to focus a lot on trying to be a bit kinder to myself. In the past, I've often treated myself very badly. I believed that if I wasn't doing everything perfectly, if I wasn't being the best daughter I could be, if I caused any sort of trouble, especially to my parents, that I was a bad person. And bad persons don't deserve anything, right? I used to tell myself that all the time. And I had a similar mindset when it came to goals. And I think this is a problem for many of us that in the end, when we look back and we reflect and we see that we haven't achieved what we wanted to achieve, if it's not 100% complete, then we failed and that's it. I've been lately trying to perfect my pancake recipe. My goal was to have it perfected by the end of 2023. And despite this being one of the best ones I've made so far, I wasn't 100% happy with them. So instead of calling it quit, I'm just gonna continue to try to perfect it for this year. It might have not been what I planned, but it's what I want to do.
3 hours later.
And it's time for lunch, and we're gonna try this that my dad brought. I have not been able to try this because it was only available in the UK. So let's make lunch quickly. We often neglect our needs, and that leads to exhaustion and burnout, to be honest. Which, looking back, I think I nearly experienced for a period of time at the end. So, coming back home has definitely been very beneficial for my mental well being. But the problem that I experienced at the start of 2024 of feeling stuck already was due to me repeating the same patterns again, framing everything I wanted to do in a negative way, telling myself that I was already failing, that everything I wanted to achieve this year was impossible, that I was being just too ambitious. In my mind, I was already doing too little. But that's because I was thinking about things being perfect in the end. I was envisioning how I wanted them to be. And it is precisely this mindset that I want to change. Because, guys, the things that we achieve don't have to be perfect in the end. Progress is better than trying to achieve perfection. Perfection is the enemy of good. And in the end, trying to be perfect only leads to anxiety. It makes us forget to focus on the bigger picture. Today is a half breakfast long day. My sister is going back to work, but let's enjoy our breakfast and then get some editing done, which we have a lot to do. And we have dentist again today, so feeling good after the haircut. It was very much needed. My hair was screaming for help. Anyways, let's have breakfast. Since we've been small, we've been taught that goals should be approached in a very black and white thinking. You either did it or you didn't do it. That's it. It was either 100% complete or nothing at all. And as soon as I realized that this year I was already starting thinking that I had to continue with this black and white thinking, I decided to change that. Yes, I might have many goals in mind for this year, and yes, I will not achieve them all. But what's wrong with that? What is wrong with experimenting what works and doesn't work for me?
La serie es bonita, la Alessandro. Ay, está bonito. Sí, okay. Grandma. Regalo para ti.
Así se ven. Mis estrellas no se ven, mira. Pero está bonito igualmente. ¿O no? Somalia gue ya mau ke sana. Yo tengo que estar ya.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
It's ready to go to the cinema. Aww. Recently, I found a quote that really made me reflect on how I want to live life. It said, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. But if you're at peace, you're living in the moment.
Some people think that makes me a joke, but I don't care. You know why? Because I'm also good at something else. And that's breaking heads.
Today, many of us are either comparing ourselves to our past self and judging our old selves about the decisions they made, or we then choose to catastrophize things and look to the future with a sense of fear. Instead of focusing on what we can do today and right now, it's just normal now for many to be stuck in the past or torturing our mind with things that haven't even happened yet. And that was precisely what I was doing. Telling myself that everything was gonna go bad this year. That no matter how hard I tried, no matter the effort I put, I, even without trying, had already determined my future. I had pictured the future like an impossible thing that was gonna happen for me this year. And that did make me feel very stuck in place. Because if nothing's gonna change, then why bother at all trying, right? If I already see it as impossible, then why try to make it possible? Why even try to set goals?
No, está bien, cómanselo. Papi, mira mamá. Haciendo el tonto. ¡Ay, mamá!
And while I was having this inner battle with myself, I forgot to be present in the moment with my family. I think I might have lost 2 days out of this week, just lost in my own thoughts, instead of trying to make the most of the time I had with my family. Now looking back at my footage, I kind of regret it that I let my own mindset take a hold of me one last time, because this week flew by so quickly. And by the end, it was already time to say goodbye to my dad. And while I do feel sad now, I know that shouldn't that stop me from trying to improve. Maybe I didn't succeed so much at being present since the very start, but it doesn't mean that I should stop working on it. And that also goes for the goals you guys have. Just because you started the year maybe going back to some old routine, it doesn't mean that the next day you can't wake up and try again.
It's shower time. I'm gonna say bye to my straight hair today. Oh, I feel so unproductive today. I don't know why. But it's okay. Some days we just have to relax. Today was one of those days, I guess.
This year, I really want to be mindful about being more in the present, letting the past go, and unfocus my attention from the future. The present is all we have. Let's all start approaching our goals with the mindset of day by day, with small baby steps, doing as best as we can what we have right now. Truly focus on how we're feeling right now, because this year, you can make the impossible possible.
Can't believe that I get to see those eyes for more than tonight. Swear you must have fell from the sky. And I feel so lucky I met you.